Hello, it's me again. I've been so filled with the Lord today. I'm so full, and I've been led to share another message today. This one I've decided to call it Speak to Your Situation. That's right. We have to learn to speak to our situation. Sometimes there are situations that may bring about feeling of anxiety, stress, and you start thinking of the worst outcome. What if I told you today that I have the recipe that's going to help you not to experience all these feelings of anxiety, stress, when certain situations pop up in your life? The first ingredient that you're going to need is faith. That's right, faith. It's very important to have faith in the Lord. The second ingredient that you need is that you need to get into a warrior mode, one that's ready to fight. Yes. Now, I don't mean fight with someone. I mean it's a spiritual war. So you need to turn into that soldier that's going to fight against this situation. You need to learn how to speak to that situation. And you need to learn to speak to your emotions. That's right. You know, I used to be a person that was dealing with the spirit of anxiety very heavily. And I would always, when a situation arose or popped up in my life, I will always think of the worst outcome. Sometimes, and I'm speaking because of this is my personal experience, and I've come to realize that sometimes the Lord will allow you to go through things so you can encourage others. It's not the same like you tell someone, oh yes, I read in a book that this is what you need to do. Or I heard the pastor saying this. But when you live through something, you can really relate to what someone is going through. And you'll be able to tell them about your personal experience and what you did to help yourself, or what you did to get through this situation. And sometimes the enemy, I'm going to tell you a lot of times, he uses old tricks, and you need to be able to discern when the enemy is going to test you with something from your past, or he knows what situation to bring up in your life that will trigger feelings of anxiety, feelings of stress, things that will take away your peace. Now let's go back to the ingredients. You need to not only have faith in the Lord, but you need to have faith in yourself. What do I mean by that, faith in yourself? You need to know with certainty and understand that the Lord has given you the authority to fight against any situation, to fight against any spirit that's coming against you. For we fight not against flesh. And we have to learn to understand that. Okay? So we need to have faith not only on the Lord, but have faith and understand the authority that God has given you. You need to have confidence that the Lord will take care of the situation. You need to say to your feelings, your emotions, and the situation, not today. And it's something I've come to understand. When you go through a situation, when I used to go through things, I will start having this feeling of anxiety, and then I'll start feeling it in my stomach. What affect my appetite. And from there, I will be nervous. I would not want to eat. And then I start having all these thoughts, and it's just like a ripple effect. I'll feel one thing, then something else happens, and then the list can go on to the point that you can't eat, you can't sleep, and you just think about the worst. And you have to tell yourself, you have to speak to that spirit of anxiety. You have to speak to your emotions and say, not today, not today. We are going to stop this right here. You have to think about it as an alarm. When you go through a situation, and I know I used to have this feeling in my stomach. That's an alarm. When you're going through a situation and I start feeling that, I tell myself, not today. We are going to stop this today. You got to speak, like I said, to that spirit of anxiety. And you got to say, you are not welcome in this temple. You got to start praying over that situation, and you got to leave it in God's hands. After you pray, you direct your thoughts away from that situation. And how you're going to do that, you may ask? You have to believe that it's taken care of. You have to get to a point that your faith and your level of understand that once you pray, God is going to take care of it. I promise you that once you do that, you will see how that spirit of anxiety will leave you. Now, I have an important key factor. This can only happen if you have the level of faith needed at that precise moment. You have to know without a shadow of doubt that God got it. For we walk by faith and not by sight. 2 Corinthians 5:7. Be blessed and stay encouraged. Remember, God got it.